I know how overwhelming you might feel while checking your store analytics, especially when you go to Shopify and you see all of these like numbers, charts, tables, and you're like, I don't know from where to start. Well, this is totally normal. But reading your analytics and your data in the right way is super important to grow your business and to understand if your marketing efforts are actually fruitful or not, or how you can improve your overall business performance in order to make more revenues and more sales. In today's video, I promise you to make this super simple by pointing out the most 3 important KPIs or metrics that you should be focusing on. I'm going to explain each of these 3 metrics and how you can improve them in order to improve your business in general. Maybe you are not a big fan of numbers and you don't actually like them. Well, don't worry, because I'm going to make this super simple, so you are going to love this video even if you hate numbers. All of the metrics that I'm going to discuss in this video are extremely important, and understanding them is crucial for your business growth. But the most important thing is not only to understand these metrics, but also to understand what type of actions you should be taking in order to grow your business based on these metrics. These metrics are going to tell you a lot, and they are going to give you the means to take insightful actions toward growing your sales and your revenues. The third metric I'm going to discuss, in my opinion, is one of the most important metrics because it tells me how strong and sustainable the business I'm dealing with is. So if you are looking at your business as something that you want to live for years, the third metric is a metric that you must keep an eye on. That's why I highly recommend you to watch this full video and not to miss any of these metrics. Remember, there are only 3 metrics and they will change the way you look at your business. The first metric we are going to discuss is the store conversion rate. Your store conversion rate is, simply put, the number of conversions you have received on your store divided by your store visits, not your store visitors. There are 2 types of conversion rates that you can see in the market. You have first the conversion rate that's calculated on the visits number, and there is a conversion rate that's calculated on the visitors numbers. Usually the one we use and the one you see on Shopify is the one based on the visits numbers. So let's say the same person visits your store 3 times like within this month. Shopify will be recording 3 sessions, and when calculating the conversion rate, Shopify will be counting the 3 sessions. This is the conversion rate that we are going to talk about, and it shows you out of the 100 sessions that you have received, how many of those sessions turned out to become a conversion, or in e-commerce, a purchase. So let's say you've received 100 sessions today and you've made 3 purchases. In this case, your conversion rate is 3%. So obviously, the higher the conversion rate is, the better it is. But one of the most common questions that people ask is, what is a good conversion rate and how could I know if my conversion rate is good or not? Well, there is no general rule of how much your conversion rate should be, because it differs between one industry and the other, and it differs depending on so many factors like your product price, your niche, your product itself, and so many other things. But in general, a conversion rate higher than 2% is considered as good. Well, to me, I look at this in a different way. What I aim to do is to increase my conversion rate no matter from where I'm starting. So let's say I'm working with a new client and the conversion rate is 2%. Well, I aim to increase this to more and more, because a higher conversion rate means more sales, means more revenues, and means more profits. So if you go now to your Shopify dashboard and you see that your conversion rate is below 1%, well, this is a very big red flag. It means that there is something going wrong. People are visiting your store and you're not being able even to convert 1 person to purchase from you out of 100 visits. And this is something to worry about, and it means that you need to start taking actions now. But even if you go to your Shopify dashboard and you see that your conversion rate is 2, 3, 4%, well, amazing, you're doing a good job, but guess what? You can even do better. Well, let me tell you about some tactics that will directly help you to increase your conversion rate, and you can see directly the results within weeks. If you have a low conversion rate, you must know that there is only one thing that stops people from buying, and it is trust. If people are visiting your store and they are not buying your product, it means there is a trust issue. So either they are not trusting your product, so they are not sure if your product is actually going to do what you have promised, or they are not trusting your store and your brand. So when we are facing a low conversion rate, the first thing I focus on is how we are going to establish more trust. How I'm going to convince my store visitors that my product is worthy of their money. And here where it comes, the first thing that you must do if you are facing a low conversion rate or if you are looking to improve your conversion rate, and it is to work on your product reviews. I can't emphasize on this enough. Having reviews, a lot of your reviews on your product page is very important, especially if you are selling something that's hard to understand or something that's expensive. Reviews can make or break the deal. Remember when you go to Amazon and you are about to buy something, the first thing we all look at is first, the number of reviews, second, is the total review above 4.5 or not. You must have reviews on your store. And in order to make this simpler for you, there is an app on Shopify called Stamp.io. This app allows you to send automatic emails to your customers to ask them to review the product. And they can review the product directly from the email, so they don't need to go back to the store and review. And this usually performs very well because it lowers the friction, and people usually like to review a product if they liked it. Now, in addition to the normal written reviews, which are super important, the second thing that you should be aiming to is to collect video reviews. And I know these are, let's say, more tricky. People don't like to film themselves. They don't like to show themselves on social media or on like random stores. So this is normal. But you need also to work on this. You can start with your team members, with your family members, with your friends, with your, let's say, super loyal customers, and ask them for video reviews. And in return of their time and effort, you can give them something, maybe a discount, maybe a gift, something that can actually push them into taking the action to film the reviews. But this is not it. Your work doesn't end with like collecting reviews. You need also to add sections on your product page that show that your product is actually good, that your product will deliver what it promises. So you can start, for example, with before and after photos if they are relevant to your niche. Or if you sell, for example, makeup products or cleaning products. Before and after sections are extremely important because they show your store visitors visually that your product actually works. Also, another section that you can add to your product page and can be extremely beneficial to improve your store conversion rate, and it is the numerical facts. So let's say, for example, you sell a machine that helps people to get rid of their back pain. You can add a section, for example, showing your customers numbers, so 5,000 plus satisfied customers, or for example 95% of customers report back pain relief within 2 weeks after using the machine, and so on. Numbers are extremely important because people believe them, they understand them easily and quickly. So if you have like facts that you can translate into numbers, I highly recommend you to add those to your product page. And for sure, if you have any certifications, if you were mentioned in any, let's say, press releases, or if you have, like, say, any awards or something like this, include those on your product page. And don't forget one of the most important things that can actually affect your conversion rate, and it is your product description. Especially if your product is hard to understand or if it is super complicated and super expensive. So make sure to always include all the needed information within your product page. Even if you are selling makeup, for example, you must have information related to the ingredients, to the benefits, to what makes this type of foundations better than other foundations in the market, how to apply it, results, and so on. If you want to know more about how to craft the best product description ever, and if you want to know more about how to create the best product page ever, I highly recommend you to check these 2 videos on my YouTube channel because they will greatly help you. If you were able to increase your store conversion rate from 2% to 4%, for example, this means that you are able to double your sales without actually paying more money to drive more traffic to your store. And this means that you are able to lower the amount of money you are paying to acquire new customers. So let's say you are running Facebook ads and you are paying, let's say, $3,000 per month to run ads. and now your conversion rate is 2% and you are gaining 100 new customers every month. So your cost of acquisition, or how much money you are paying to acquire a new customer, is equal to $3,000 divided by 100 equal to $30. So now you are paying $30 in order to gain one customer. Now imagine that you are still paying these $3,000 on ads, but now instead of making 100 new customers, you are making 200 new customers because your conversion rate went up from 2% to 4%. So you doubled your conversion rate. In this case, your acquisition cost will become $15. So basically, you are making more money out of the investment that you are putting on ads. Your store conversion rate is extremely important and improving it is a must. And that's why this is the first KPI you should be focusing on and you should be always following on your Shopify store. But don't look at your conversion rate like day to day. Look at it over the full month or like over 2 weeks. Look at it like from a little bit a far angle in order to understand the behaviors of your customers, because conversion rate can be affected by multiple things related to your customers. So always look at the performance from a large window, 2 weeks, 1 month, even 1 year when you are looking at like your big efforts, and this could tell you if you are moving in the right direction or not. The second metric we are going to talk about is the average order value, and it is simply the amount of money someone spends on your store during one purchase. So let's say, for example, you've made $5,000 in sales this month and you have received 100 orders. Your average order value is $5,000 divided by 100 equal to $50. So this means that if someone visits your store, you can predict that they are going to spend around $50 during that purchase because this is your average order value. So it goes without saying, the higher your average order is, the better it is. You can check your store average order value from your Shopify dashboard. And there is a graph there that shows you how your AOV is changing over time. Now the question would be, what is a good average order value and what is a bad average order value? Well, when it comes to the conversion rate, there is some industry benchmarks that we try, let's say, to compare ourselves to. But when it comes to the average order value, it's not the same. We always aim to increase our average order value as much as possible. But as a starting point, I recommend you to check your average order value and compare it to one product price from your store. So let's say, for example, you sell a product that's for $20. If your average order value is equal to $20, this means that your customers are usually going to your store, they are buying one product and they are leaving. And in my opinion, this is not the best case scenario, or this is not what you should be looking for. So if your average order value is close to one product price, I recommend you to work toward increasing this number so it's equal to 1.5 product price or maybe double the product price. And again, the higher the average order value is, the better it is. So let me give you this example from one of my clients' stores. In this store, we are selling a product and we have two variants. The first variant is with a single bottle and the second variant is with twin bottles. So for the single bottle, the price is £20. For the twin pack, the price is £36. And we have created that twin bottle pack in order to increase the average order value. So if we go to our Shopify dashboard, we can see that our average order value over time is £22. This means that on average, a customer is going to spend £22 on our store. But it also means that customers, or some of them at least, are buying the twin pack, not only the single bottle, because our average order value is higher than the single bottle price. Now, if we go to our average order value and we try to understand what's happening, you can see that when we started in June, our average order value was around £20 and we were doing some discounts. That's why it was even lower than £20. Then you will see that over time, we were working on improving this value more and more. And you can see that the improvement is actually slow. And this is something you must keep in mind when it comes to the average order value. Increasing your average order value is a little bit tricky, and usually it takes a lot of testing and let's say a lot of trials and errors until you understand what type of offers are going to resonate best with your customers in order to make them to spend more on your store. Now, if we look at the store, we can notice in here that our average order value is somehow around $200. This is a different currency, but this is equivalent to $200. If we go to the full report in here and we try to see the improvement we have made over the last 3 months. So as you can see, we've started with almost 2K as average order value. Again, this is almost equivalent to $200. And as you can see, over time, we were able to improve this average order value. It's slow, but we are improving this number and hopefully we will be able to improve it more. When you increase your store average order value, you are directly increasing your profits. And let me explain why. Let's go back to our example. You are still paying $3,000 on ads every single month, and you are making 100 orders out of these ads. And let's say, on average, a customer is spending $50 on your store. This means $5,000 in sales, right? Now, let's imagine that you are able to increase your average order value to, for example, $60. This means $6,000 in sales. So practically, you made $1,000 in sales out of the same amount of money you are investing on ads. And directly, you are increasing your profits and you are increasing your ads ROI, or how much money you are making out of the investment you are putting on ads. Increasing your average order value is not something easy, and it actually can be more tricky than what you are expecting. I'm going to recommend some tactics and strategies that I have tested with a lot of clients, and most of them worked most of the time. But what I recommend you to do is to test these strategies one at a time and to monitor your average order value to see if this strategy is actually improving this metric or not. Again, we can never guess what kind of offers are going to resonate better with your audience. That's why it's very important to try and test. Well, the first thing I recommend you to try and test is to change your free shipping thresholds. So let's say that your average order value is now $50 and your free shipping threshold is $100. So basically you are offering free shipping for every order above $100. What you can do is to lower the free shipping threshold to be a little bit higher than the average order value, but not too high as the $100. If someone is going to spend $50 on your store, it's super hard to convince them to double this amount and spend $100. So what you can do is to offer free shipping for orders above, let's say, $75. In this way, you are asking them to spend a little bit more money in order to get the free shipping. So let's say, for example, your shipping fee is $10. And as a customer, I'm already going to spend around $50 in your store. If you tell me that by spending $25, I'm gonna get free shipping, and so the difference is basically only $15, most probably I'm going to buy something else. But if your free shipping threshold is way higher than your average order value, it's gonna be way harder to convince a customer to spend that much. Changing your free shipping threshold is one of the easiest things that you can do and test. And if you are going to do this, you can start by doing it today. Now, at this moment, just go to your Shopify dashboard and change your shipping rates. But I recommend you to take 2 or 3 weeks in order to see if the change you have made has actually improved your store average order value. And when you are going to change your free shipping threshold, make sure to announce this clearly on your store using announcement bars, maybe text on the product page, maybe even text on your ads, and so on. Now, the second thing that you can do in order to improve your store average order value is to improve your product recommendations, or actually start providing them on your Shopify store. And here we have 2 types of product recommendations. We have the complementary products and we have the related products. I have a video on this YouTube channel that explains everything related to product recommendations and how you can set them up on your Shopify store and how you can improve them in order to increase your average order value. But simply put, product recommendations are similar to what we see on Amazon when we are buying. It's similar to the frequently bought together section, where you recommend other products related to the original purchase the customer is already doing. So let's say, for example, I am buying a yoga mat. You can recommend that I can add to my purchase the yoga mat cover or maybe yoga blocks and so on. Product recommendations work very well, and they work best when you recommend the right products to the right customers. That's why I highly recommend you to check this video on my YouTube channel in order to know how to set up your product recommendations correctly. The nice thing about this strategy is that you can also start applying it today. You just need to go and set up your product recommendations after you watch my YouTube video. Now, the next thing that you can do in order to improve your average order value is to start offering bundles on your store. And this can be as simple as like creating a 2-pack variant or 2 products variant on your product page, and that's it. But also you can make this more professional and create real bundles. And this could work perfectly well for products like makeup, skincare, clothes, and so on. And now, thanks to Shopify, there is a free app that allows you to create customizable bundles. So let's say, for example, you sell foundation, concealer, and a primer. Okay, you can create a bundle using this app where you bundle your foundation, your concealer, and your primer. And not only that, you can allow your customers, while buying the bundle, to choose the color of foundation they want. And in this way, you didn't just create a bundle on your store, you also allowed your customers to customize it to their needs. And also with this strategy, you can start right away by simply downloading this app and creating your first bundle. If you want to take this to a totally next level, I recommend you to create real bundles with packaging and product photography and so on. Because people like bundles, they like to gift them, they like to buy them for themselves. And usually when you create bundles, you help your customers because you are technically telling them this product goes with this one and so on. So in this case, you won't be able to start introducing the bundles directly on your store. You would need first to do the packaging, the orders, do the photo shooting, then add the bundles to your store and try to sell them as gift ideas and so on. The final metric we are going to talk about is your customers' returning rate. And this metric will tell you how many of your customers are returning back to your store to purchase again from you. This is a super important metric that tells us a lot about how healthy, sustainable, and strong a business is. A high customers returning rate means that your customers are happy and satisfied with your products and your services. But a low customers returning rate can mean one of two things. Either you are selling something that a customer wouldn't buy again in the future, like if you are selling, for example, wedding favors, or your customers are not happy and satisfied with your products and your services. If your store is in the first category and you are selling something that your customers are not going most probably to purchase anytime soon in the future, it's totally normal to see low returning rate. But if you are selling something that the same customer can purchase again and again, so let's say you are selling coffee or you are selling some type of accessories and so on, it means that there is something that your customers are not liking about your products and about the experience they had with your store. And now the question is, what is a good customers returning rate? Well, we wish to have a 100% returning rate. We wish that every single customer who ever tried our store and our products will come back again and purchase again from us. But this is not realistic. So usually a 40% returning rate, in my opinion, is super healthy for like almost all niches. I'm not talking about grocery stores. I'm not talking about like wedding stores and stuff like that. I'm talking about like makeup, fashion, accessories, supplements, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? So usually 40% is good. If you are starting out with your business, something between 20% to 30% is also a very good start, because you are just starting out. People need time to trust you. They need time to make sure that your product is the best in the market. So what are the things that you can do in order to improve this metric? Well, obviously, you must have a very good product that delivers what you have promised. If you are selling your customers a laser machine and you have promised them a certain result in a certain amount of time, your product should deliver this result. Or otherwise, people will not be recommending your products and they will not be coming back to your store to buy other accessories from your store. If you are selling coffee and your coffee doesn't taste well, your customers are not going to come back to your store and purchase again from you in the future. So, the number one thing that you must do is to make sure that your product is very good and that it delivers what you have promised. This is the golden rule. This is the most important thing that you can do in here. But there are also other things that you can do in order to improve this rate. Offering subscription plans, if they apply to your niche, can help you with increasing the returning rate of your customers. So, for example, if you sell coffee, you can do a monthly subscription, so your customers will be receiving the coffee every month, like with a small discount because they are subscribers. The second thing that you can do is to work on your email marketing. Using email marketing, you can reach out to your old customers and invite them to come back to your store to check other products or maybe to purchase the same product again, and so on. Email marketing is extremely important for e-commerce for so many things, but when it comes to retaining your customers, email marketing is a must-have. With email marketing, you can always stay in touch with your customers, you can make sure that they don't forget about your brand, about your products, and you can always give them reasons to come back to your store and purchase again. The longer you can retain your customers, the stronger your business and your brand would be. Imagine you are selling coffee, okay? And you are able to retain the customers, the same customers, for like 5 or 6 years. This is amazing because if you are paying today $30 to acquire one customer, you are sure that you are making a lot of money out of this same customer in the future. Having a good returning customers rate means that your business is strong and that your brand is growing, because it means that people are liking your products and they are coming back to purchase again and again. Imagine that you are running Facebook ads in order to acquire new customers. And going back to the example I gave you at the beginning of this video, imagine that you are paying $30 to acquire a new customer. But now, instead of thinking that you are going to make one purchase with this customer, which is equivalent, let's say, to $50, now you know that the same customer is going to come back to your store and purchase again from you and again and again. So in this way, you are increasing the long-term value of your customers and you are increasing your profits, but most importantly, you are growing your brand in the right direction. The long-term value of a customer is how much you estimate this customer is going to purchase from your brand through their, let's say, whole experience with your brand. So let's say, for example, you are selling coffee and you estimate that the same customer is going to stay loyal to your brand at least for 3 years. So in this way, when you are calculating the value of a customer, you calculate the 3 years value of this customer, how much in total you are going to make in terms of sales and profits out of the same customer. Your customer long-term value is a very important metric, but it's a little bit complicated. That's why I have created a full video on this YouTube channel to show you what is LTV, how to calculate it, and how to improve it. So make sure to watch this video directly after finishing the video you are watching right now. So that's it for today's video. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comment section below and I would be more than happy to help you out. Before leaving, and if you liked this video, please don't forget to smash the like button, to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because in this way you will get notified each time I publish a new video. Thank you again and see you soon. Bye bye.